And welcome back to the show. Joining me now is John Bachman from the Reagan Library, and we'll get the latest on the debate. But first, earlier in the day, John had a chance to speak with many of the people involved, including Michael Reagan, on Donald Trump and his strategy for winning in 2016.
Was it a positive conversation between you and Mr. Trump?
Yeah, it really was a positive conversation between the two of us. And you know what I told him? I said, listen, Donald, you can't blow the building up on the way through the room and then expect to put it all back together again to get these people on your team to win an election next November. That's not how it works. You have to find a way to keep these people together because you're going to need every one of them if you win the nomination of this party. And you don't do it by blowing the building up, to which he said, but Michael, he says, I haven't attacked anybody who hasn't attacked me first. I said, you're right. But they attack you on the issues. You attack them personally. Completely different issue.
Very, very good point. And I wonder what Donald will do based on that conversation. Joining us now is John Bachman. Hello, John.
How you doing, Steve? Great to talk to you.
Well, good to talk to you. So, I mean, this must have been some chat between Michael Reagan and Donald Trump. If he really told him the things he said he told Donald, then maybe Donald will heed some of it, and maybe we'll see some of it on display tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe he will. I do think it's going to be somewhat difficult because not only did Donald Trump hear that advice from Michael Reagan, but I think the other candidates, too, might be getting a little tired of these battles that they continue to have with Donald Trump. And the way things are going to set up on the main stage tonight, you're going to have Jeb Bush to his right on the screen. You're going to have Ben Carson to his left on the screen. Of course, you got the rest of the candidates up there, all the other candidates. Donald Trump is going to be in the center quite literally and figuratively in this debate tonight. A lot of folks are going to be going after him. He has made these personal attacks. We know Carly Fiorina has a new commercial out talking about her face and how she's proud of every wrinkle. Even though she doesn't mention Donald Trump by name in that ad, we have to imagine she's going to come out with both barrels loaded, guns ablazing, ready to take on Donald Trump. And he has left himself open. He has not gotten very specific on some of these issues, and these candidates can come after him with some pretty specific questions. That's the way CNN says they have this debate lined up. So the candidates can kind of go after each other one-on-one, so the moderators can kind of get out of the way. And the hope is that they can have a substantive debate, but is it going to devolve into everybody kind of going against Donald Trump and then more personal attacks? That's what we'll have to wait and see. I did think it was interesting with this early debate already that Donald Trump's name has come up a lot. That just goes to show you how he kind of still hangs over every discussion in this GOP primary.
And one other thing, in this debate, they are trying to provoke candidate against candidate. I could tell you that in the early debate from what I've seen during the commercial breaks here, they are trying to provoke one against the other. But you also briefly spoke to Hugh Hewitt, who's going to be a moderator, who, of course, ticked off Donald Trump. Trump thought he was getting gotcha questions from Hewitt. Do you think there'll be any fireworks between Trump and Hewitt?
Well, Hugh Hewitt completely played down that faux pas, if you want to call it that. He said, this is a thing that happens. You know this, Steve. You worked in radio a long time. It's easy to mishear somebody. When you're doing a television interview, you're looking at somebody directly face to face. It's a little bit easier to understand what they were talking about. He actually gave Donald Trump some space on that issue and said he thought that he just misheard the question. Now, I did also talk to Hugh Hewitt about where he wants to take this debate. He is an expert on foreign policy. He says he does want to get into that issue. But if it's going to be similar to the debate we're seeing right now, you know, the domestic issues are also going to come into play quite a bit. But I do think there are going to be some substantive questions, maybe not gotcha questions, but questions to kind of test Donald Trump and see if he really knows his stuff on these foreign policy issues.
All right, John, we'll talk to you again later on in the evening. I thank you very much in our 10 o'clock show, certainly. Thank you, John Bachman from the Reagan Library. We don't have a lot of time left in this segment to welcome in both Rick Unger and Joe Concha, the co-hosts of the Daily Wrap. But gentlemen, what are you looking for from the main event, Joe?
I think they're going to talk about Donald Trump. I'm pretty sure.
That's the problem.
And so will Donald.
The first debate the first 4 questions were about Donald Trump, to the point where George Pataki, pretty laid back
You
guy,
mean the debate tonight? Yes.
yeah, the kitty table debate, the happy hour. Said, we're going to talk about anything else besides this guy?
Yes.
I read you the stat before. I'll read it again. CNN has run 2,159 pieces on Donald Trump since June 16th. That equals 1 per hour for 24 hours for 90 straight days.
And Pataki complained. He brought up the fact that the first 4 questions were about Donald Trump.
Exactly.
Yeah, Rick.
I want substance. I'm tired of all of the personal stuff. It's going to be very interesting to see what these moderators do to bring substance to the debate. And I keep saying, watch out for Scott Walker and Jeb Bush. They've become the dark horses now. And I want to see what they can do, or if they can do anything to get back into the race.
Very interesting. Jindal, just so you guys know, said that Trump only believes in Donald Trump. Santorum said that personal attacks only please one person,
Hillary.
and that's Hillary Clinton, and they got to stop attacking Trump and everyone else. So we'll see. I think the moderators are going to be egging them on, but we'll see. Thank you both, gentlemen. We'll talk to you again at 10 on the Steve Malzberg Show at 10. And we're coming back. Stay tuned for more. The Steve Malzberg Show straight ahead.